All right, farmers warn of toxic vegetables after massive lithium fire next to the salad bowl of America. Doesn't sound good. Let's check it out.
We're just finishing up our town hall here in Castroville. I wanted to talk to you because not only are you an organic farmer, you're a biologist, and I think the thing that's not being addressed in the room right now is the heavy metals leaching into the soil. And this isn't just a story here locally, this is a story for the whole country because vegetables that are grown here in the Salinas Valley work their way through the entire country. This is, the quote-unquote salad bowl of America.
100%.
So you're an organic
I actually never heard
farmer.
of that.
Tell me what your concerns are.
I never heard it called that.
Well, I think what we're going to find is there'll be a lot of sweeping under the rug, because if they test for heavy metals throughout this salad bowl of America, and they start testing how much of that comes up into the lettuce, are they going to turn in all the lettuce? Are they going to cut all the lettuce and take it to be incinerated or whatever? No, they're not going to do that. So what's going to happen is people will filter those heavy metals out of the lettuce into their body. And that's what happens with the heavy metals. There was a region of in India where there was coal-burning utility, was sulfuric acid was dropping. There was arsenic in the soil, and it dissolved it. It ended up in the water, and in 6 or 7 years, massive numbers of people were dying. So heavy metals are insidious, and these particular ones are insane.
What he's saying is 100% true, and definitely recommend looking into that story. I'm going to look into that story myself. Very interesting, but it happens all the time. Chemicals, from literally the chemicals that they're spraying as fertilizer, herbicide, pesticide, kind of like a side effect chemical from neighboring industries. We got a big lithium plant coming into Marshall, Blue Oval. So we have to think about these things. This guy's on point.
Now, we kept hearing these people say, oh, HF, that's hydrofluoric acid. That acid can eat this window. I mean, normal acid you can put in a beaker, right? No, hydrofluoric acid is insanely corrosive. Hydrochloric acid, which is the other gas that was being emitted during this, if you breathe that in, it'll scar your lungs. Hydrochloric acid is quite powerful. What?
It sounds like it's very dangerous. So the EPA tested for that, but I'm still not clear from this conversation tonight whether anything else was tested. I heard testing was done, but to what extent is my question. Do you know?
I don't know what they did for testing, but I would imagine it's the usual thing is they go out in rings from the site itself and take swabs of the soil. But now that it's rained, there won't be anything to test. It'll wash into the soil and eventually get down to the aquifer, and then we'll see it there. And that might only take 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, like he's saying, after the environment affects it, rain, different temperatures, it might not be as easy to trace. So he's saying like, hey, it might not show up in the test, but it's happening.
Your concerns, I feel like, are not being addressed right now. How are you feeling after this meeting? I understand that they tested for certain things in the air, but ground soil and how that affects farming for the next 5 years is an entirely different conversation, and I don't hear any answers on that.
What if everything gets declared like non-sellable, non-consumable? This entire area, we're an ag capital of the world, the artichoke capital of the world. Like, that's just a small fraction. It goes out to Driscoll's and, So what type, it's a no-brainer, So what happens, what kind of programs are you going to offer all these farmers of compensation if they can't sell their crops? How you're going to restore their soil? Do you even know how to restore the soil and pull all these toxins out of it? Like, there's definitely a lot of common sense,
right now, like he says,
that need to be taken.
I would say I work with
I love farmers. Like, farmers, to me, we have just the best outlook on life. Like, my man is just like, hey, we need common sense approaches, and I feel like that's something that a lot of farmers can have in common and share. Is like, a lot of stuff, if you understand nature and agriculture, I guess it's not necessarily common sense, because in these days, a lot of people don't really know about it, but like, it just makes sense. Like, things just work, right? Like, you understand the natural cycles of things. And it does, yeah, for us, like, it's common sense. But like for something to happen like this, like for them to get like this money and relief in different programs, they would definitely have to go through a lot of lobbying, like go through a lot of bureaucratic systems to actually make that happen. And like my man's just like, hey, common sense, like we need to pull the toxins out of the soil. Let's figure out how to do it. Like, I love that.
Equipment that processes produce, and we have to build it to a standard, because you can't have a kill step on something that's fresh cut, ready to eat. You know, so you have to get it out of the field. But heavy metals in your soil, that's a completely different situation. Like you said, is there anything in place to address that?
They got a good hemp program that like they're introducing to Panama, Colombia, and all these. It's been known before our time, but it's like, you know, those are. Obviously, are they going into? They have to have some type of. You can't just take the soil out and replace it. You know how much money, like you know how much that is. So like, you know, hemp, it takes like a year, 2 years to revive the soil. That's a long time for farmers. Okay, so we have to set up a program for them. Oh, it costs what, $2,000, $3,000 a year or something for the permits to grow hemp. All right, waive that fee. They
So
should
for
be
the
allowed.
for the non-farmers in the world, are you using hemp as to put it into the soil to refresh it? Does that pull out the heavy metals, make it more?
All toxins. It completely restores soil. You know, it's been known.
2 years to do that.
It takes quite some time, depending on how severe the toxins are in there. But hemp is widely used, you know, for plenty of building materials.
we don't know
want to
that.
use it for consumption, you know. Obviously, if it's
Some people might.
well, if you're. Oh yeah, you know, lithium infused, you know, cobalt infused hemp, but it can be used for building materials.
Very interesting. Yeah, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know that. So hemp can be used to pull out a lot of toxic heavy metals and things from the soil. Incredible. I'm gonna be looking more into that. I know there's mushrooms that can pull lead and things out of the soil as well. But yeah, did not know that. I'm be looking into that. That's dope.
Maybe they should set up some sort of program now, knowing that there's going to be an issue, because I don't see.
The knowledge is out there. It's been there before these battery, the lithium battery plants and this green energy was discovered. The hemp was also, you know, it's been. I mean, that's just one step, you know. Example.
It seems to me that there's no way that there's not going to be a problem here, so they should maybe look forward to trying to put a program into place. So what are next moves for you guys? Are the farmers going to get together and try to talk to these guys and make some push to get something changed?
Well, yeah, it's kind of everybody's livelihood around here. We're an dense ag area, you know. That's one of our main incomes here.
It's probably the main income.
The main, you know, one of them.
It's not just you guys. Everybody needs the food, right? Without you guys growing the food here, it's a problem for everybody. So this is not
Somebody's
isolated.
going to be consuming it or not consuming it. So, yeah, not only livelihood and money, but health concerns. You know, they haven't put a stop to the agricultural. They're still telling people it's fine to sell, consume.
Have you had any symptoms of not feeling well?
Yeah, headaches, burning throat. I took off. I left the country 3 days into the fire, you know, got the family out of here. I'm not going to sit around and wait for someone who clearly got paid to get this place installed in a dense agricultural zone and sanctuary of endangered species that like only our area houses, and they're going to put, I don't know. You know how politics works.
No, I do. It's all corrupt.
You know, so
it's all corrupt.
yeah,
their
pockets are way beyond mine. You know, I just only concerned with the obvious. You know, like having that luxury.
Shout out Status Coop for doing this video. This is crazy. I can't believe. And thank you to my boy Carl for sending me this. I can't believe that this is not being talked about more. This is wild. Like, I haven't heard anything about this besides this video. It sounds like, you know, they're selling this food after this massive fire. And it's incredibly concerning for people in our area in Michigan. Wow, we might be at some point dealing with this same kind of issue, because there is a large electric car battery plant being installed in Marshall. Wow. This is crazy. We'll have to talk more about this.
Luxury to grow our own food and provide for our family, eat organically, and not all this synthetic crap that they're constantly pushing out there anyways. It just seems like it's all a part of the agenda to me. So, and just thanks for stripping that little bit of, you know, natural, organic way of living, you know. It's like, all right, cool. Like now, either
we were just there
elsewhere because they can discontinue, like, or stick around till it happens again.
Right. We were there only maybe for 2 hours this morning, and I could feel burning in my throat, and so I could imagine.
I take today off from work because of it. Yeah, my dad's been to the hospital twice. I've been there twice. All of our livestock.
Castroville area or Salinas?
Right by Moss Landing.
Oh, right.
7 miles away. Yeah, I raise meat rabbits and chickens, and I'm like contemplating. I'm not going to eat them at all. I don't even feel comfortable eating my chicken eggs anymore because I mean the stuff that I'm breathing. And then I'm getting a sore throat, itchy eyes from.
Set seed crop months in advance, order chickens, and I'm like, I don't want the animals eating that. Like,
Oh, right, because it works its way through.
works its way through, so it's like we're already being, impacted by it. Now I got to find other places to store these chickens I ordered months ago. Like, I can't house them on there. Like, that's just.
It feels dishonest.
You know,
or
like no, you
unethical.
just can't. You know, like how am I gonna like harvest an egg from something that was consuming that and crack it for my 5 and 2-year-old daughter? Like, yeah, no, it's not. You know, I care about myself too, but it's not just me. I'm thinking about. You know.
This is definitely a tragedy.
100%.
Any parting
Shout out to the
thoughts?
farmers in the salad bowl, man.
I hope these people go bankrupt.
There you-
Yeah,
That's
hopefully
fair.
they just get it out of here and put it somewhere where it won't make this much of an
Yeah,
impact.
all their
on
profits need to
anybody,
go towards
you know?
restoring that soil.
Do your-
Put it out,
do your trial
maybe.
Shut down, or they said it takes like 2 years for the hemp to pull it out. Like, honestly, all the profit from this company that they make needs to cover those costs until the problem is completely fixed. This is crazy.
Put it
somewhere else.
Yeah. Or if water can't put it out, maybe not put it close to a sanctuary, or maybe put it 2 stories down where a bunch of sand can be put on it and stifle it down. There's other stuff that there's other things
Fire
they can do.
department and the hurdles they make us go through just to.
Consult consult with the farmers before y'all start building all this. Like, honestly, these guys probably could have saved this whole thing. It sounds like they already knew what to do.
Start a simple little business here, and like they didn't make them go through those same hurdles of like such a major possible disaster, because we have to do that for tiny sprinkler systems up to code in an area that wouldn't even be affected
Yep.
by someone. Say if our house burnt on fire, which is wood and normal carcinogens, they we can all take, but they just passed it with flying colors. I'm sure a couple people got new cars and yeah, it's terrible. But that's how it goes, fortunately.
Here's your free Tesla.
Yeah,
Shout out to these
I don't
guys.
want it.
Yeah, exactly.
No electric in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that does seem like a problem. Why would they put something that reacts to water, which is what lithium does? Why would they put a storage facility with 100,000 batteries in it next to not only water, but an area that has a marine layer that comes in on the daily? Like the potential for moisture entering that environment is very high. That seems like a no-brainer to me. You're right. How does this even happen?
They think it's a nice idea. It sounds good.
Money, it's politics. You got to grease the right pockets, and it's probably a guy who's got vacation homes all over the world. So something goes on here, he can just get up and move, and
Yeah, they don't care.
it is what it is.
Consult the farmers
right.
What
first.
it is.
So we're going to end this live
Avoid
stream now, I
things
think.
like this.
Thank you guys for talking to me. Obviously, these guys here, not only locals, they're farmers. This is their livelihood, their families that live here, grew up here, I'm guessing, as well. So you have roots in the community. So we just, we were at the town hall. I don't feel like a lot of folks felt like they were getting satisfactory answers from any of
Yeah, shout out to Status Coop for making this video and reporting on this wild story. I'm gonna be following up on this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. What you think about this video, and then we'll be posting more on this topic because this is crazy. I'm gonna look more into this. And yeah, this needs to be something that we're talking about here in Calhoun County too, because we have a lithium plant that was very controversial going in because it is built on premium farmland. So very interesting story here. Like, comment, subscribe.